Welcome back. In this video we will learn about arrays and maps in Java. So let me get rid of this stuff here. So arrays are the list of items we can store inside a variable. A variable that can hold a list of certain type of items. For example, if I want to store 100 integer numbers, I will be required an integer type of array to store that kind of stuff. So it is collection of variables and it can hold any number of variables. So I'm going to create an array for now, like integer array I'm going to create here. Integer arr, any name you can give. I've given it arr is equal to this like stuff, and you can assign any kind of numbers. For example, you can give it 7. So this has created an array of type integer that will hold 7 integers. Why 7 integers? Because I've given it 7 integers. I haven't. If I want more integers, I can give it here size. For example, I want 10 integers, I can give size of 10. So I will be able to store 10 integers inside it. So I haven't given any size, means that the number I'm going to give in it will be the final size of this array. Alright, so how can I print this stuff that is in array? System.out.println. For example, I want to print the second element of array, then I will use arr of 1, because the array's index starts from 0. This 1 is at 0 index, 2 is at 1 index, 3 is at second index. So I've started to print the second element of the array. So when I run this project, it should print 2, and it is 2. Alright, so in this way you can create an array and you can print something. Let's say I want to store, later on came my mind, said me that I should have stored 8 there, so I decided to store 8 at position number 8, and I can store like this. And if now I print position number 8, there you can see it's saying that index out of bound error, because we have array of size 7, but I'm storing an element at 8, so this cannot be stored. So what we need to do is, if I give it size of 8, now let's see what happens. It's saying that it's still an error. We can't create an array like this because it's not a dynamic array, it's called static array. Means that if we have created an array of for example 7 elements, we cannot later on modify its size. The size of the array will be the same that we have provided when we have initialized this array. So giving it these values means that we are initializing this array. So in order to get rid of this error, we come to another point that Java provides a solution of this problem, and that's those are called array lists. So we can get rid of these arrays, and we can use a better approach to create arrays, and that is called array list. And here you can give any type, which type of array list you want to create is equal to new array list. Alright, now there is a function in array that enables you to add some data to it. For example, I want to add 1, and then again I want to add some further elements to it. It will automatically set its size. I don't have to give it size. it's dynamic. That's why these arrays are called dynamic arrays. These size can be increased whenever you want to increase, and whenever you add a new element, its size is incremented by 1, means its size is increased by 1 element. So if I print now arr.get, there is a function .get to get the element at certain position. So I'm going to print here 4. So this will print the element 4, which doesn't exist in our current array, because our array contains 0, 1, 2 and 3 elements. Means it contains 4 elements, but our index starts from 0, so it should be here 3. Alright, so when I run it, and it is still an error. We cannot create array list of type integers. We cannot create this. Let's figure out the reason of it, why we cannot create array list of type integer. So it says that array list doesn't accept primitive data types. It should be given generic data types. For example, what are primitive data types? Any data type that is provided by the Java is called primitive data type, and any data type that is written by someone and used as a library is called non-primitive data type. For example, int, float, boolean, and the next one is double. These are called primitive data types, but instead of these, string is not a primitive data type. It is written in a library. So that's why we cannot create an array list of type int, but we can create array list of type integer. Alright, let me execute this. It's still, yes, there we go. We can create an array list of any type that is not primitive. We cannot create array list of primitive data types. So that was the idea behind this. Alright, now we have created an array list. We have added elements to it. We have popped an item from it, and we can also do that. We can do, for example, 0th element will be 1. Alright, we can do that. We can also remove an element from array later on. For example, arr.remove. Which element we want to remove? For example, we want to remove index number 2, so we have to give it 2. Now when, and let's print it the 2 here. When it will remove element number 2, it will replace the element number 2 with element number 3. So it should print now 4 as expected here. So arr.remove accepts an argument of index of the array that removes the element we want to remove. The index we will provide it will remove that element. So that's it for this video. In the next video we will learn maps.